Welcome, welcome all to the mentoring session for Cosmic Forces. Our mentoring guest today is Patricia Cota-Robles, speaker and writer and spiritual teacher, and also the president of an organization called Era of Peace. She just recently completed the World Congress on Illumination, and of course, these courses that you're watching. So I wanted to give you just a basic. We're looking at a Zoom webinar. That's what we're in. So feel free to use the chat function down in your window. I mean, this is something you all know how to do. And you can actually go into the chat now and tell us where you're calling from if you'd like to. We can look at that. But you can also just start writing in questions that you'd like Patricia to answer and discuss. If you want to do this verbally and on video, you go down to the reaction section at the bottom of your window and raise your hand, and I'll see that, hopefully. And then I'll call on you and I'll ask you straight up if you want to be on video or not. And if you do, then Garth, or my colleague Garth, will activate your video, and it just takes a few seconds. Don't feel too bad about that. Then you unmute yourself and you can talk. So without further ado, Patricia, would you like to make any opening comments or just go straight ahead?
Well, I just want to welcome everybody. This is a really exciting and powerful time. I want to thank all of you for your willingness to walk your talk and fulfill your divine plans of adding to the light of the world. And hopefully what we've shared in this masterclass will inspire us, realizing how much assistance we're getting from the realms of Illumined Truth and how really powerful we are in our ability to join our energies together to make a difference. And so today is one of those days. We're in the midst of a really powerful eclipse series. On Monday, it is a very or Tuesday rather, November 8th will be a very powerful full moon lunar eclipse. And in the United States, of course, we're having our midterm elections, which is an important time in the United States. A lot of effort from the heavenly realms to try to awaken us to the oneness of all life and to move out of this place of the combative energies from the old frequencies that are trying to separate us and create that us against them consciousness, which is an illusion. We are one and there is no separation. So it's a powerful time, and I'm looking forward to talking to you all today about whatever you have questions about.
Wonderful. Well, we can start with Elizabeth. You raised your hand. Are you interested in having your video come on as well?
Go ahead. Thank you. Yeah, I've been. Thank you for the letter you sent out this week about the breathing, which I've been doing, and I get a bit kind of caught up on analyzing exactly. So like the first two parts I can do very easily, and then when I'm expanding and projecting, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I'm not quite sure. I haven't got a visual picture in my mind, Patricia, and I would really appreciate having you clarify that for me a bit so that I can do it a bit more effectively.
I certainly will. I'll tell everybody that that newsletter is a really important newsletter discussing all the powerful things that are taking place. And it's available on our website, eraofpeace.org, under the monthly articles. And this one is called Pay Attention, Cosmic Moments Come and Go. And our newsletters are free, and they come out monthly, and our vlogs are also free and they come out weekly. You're welcome to register for those if you'd like to do that. But the important thing, Elizabeth, is knowing that our lower consciousness is the only part of us that gets confused. Our I am presence knows exactly what to do. So on that rhythmic breath, we are our breath, and that's a lot of what this newsletter is talking about, because new portals of the holy breath of God have opened so that we're receiving even higher frequencies. Our breath is our direct connection to source. That's why we take our first breath at birth and our last breath as we leave this physical plane. And to bring light into the physical plane, there's an expression that God needs a body. And what I'm talking about in the newsletter is at this moment, there's all these cosmic energies flooding the planet. But if you and I and the rest of humanity embodied on Earth don't breathe that light through the divinity of our heart flame and project it into the physical plane, it just passes us by. It can't enter the third dimensional, fourth dimensional, even the initial frequencies of the fifth dimensional plane without being drawn through the divinity in our heart. So the rhythmic breath is the easiest way of doing that. So it's a 4-part breath. You just inhale, and as you're inhaling, say in the silence of your heart, I am in-breathing the light of God. And in this case, I am in-breathing the light of God from all celestial opportunities. Then you hold the breath. I am assimilating the light of God from all celestial opportunities. Then you exhale, and it's breathed through your heart chakra into the physical plane. I am expanding the light of God from all celestial opportunities. And then you hold the breath out as it just floods the earth. I am projecting the light of God through all celestial opportunities. So I encourage you, don't get caught up in that stuff. That's just your lower human ego trying to distract you so that you won't feel your power and your ability to make an effective difference. But no, your I am presence always knows. So what I encourage everybody to do before we do any of our meditations or invocations is to say, I am my I am presence, and instantaneously that facet of our consciousness takes command. And then when we say, I am the I am presence of all humanity, our I am presence instantaneously sends a ray of light, alerting every person's I am presence. And I'm talking about the 8 billion souls on this planet, that someone is invoking light on their behalf, and their I am presence stands in readiness to receive that light. And then their I am presence uses it in perfect alignment with their divine plan and their highest good. So we don't need to worry about figuring out what somebody's divine plan is or how they can use this light or what they need. We don't need to worry that we're interfering with their divine plan, because their I am presence never does that and knows exactly how to use the light we're invoking.
Thank you. I'm so very pleased now to have the silver lining of my much loved husband dying in mid-September, who I've looked after. We had a lot of needs for about 10 years and finally slipped away. And the silver lining is I have more time now to devote to playing my part. I've always felt I was a little bit just not playing it as much as I would like.
And of course, being a caretaker for our loved ones is a vital part of our divine plan too.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're doing your divine plan. You now just to move into a different phase of it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. That's all I want to say. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank
We had
you.
a question that's passed through, actually came through an email, I believe, before this mentoring session. It is, please clarify why Mother God's love was withdrawn after our fall from grace.
Okay, I just actually interestingly described this in this newsletter. When we made the free will choice to start using our creative faculties of thought and feeling in ways that were not based in love. And when we did that, we sent forth these distorted mutations of our life force that manifested in the outer world as the painful things of poverty and war and all of the misqualified energy. When that began to occur, we began experiencing the painful results of our actions for the first time, because prior to that, our actions were based in love. So we closed our heart chakra so that we would not feel so much pain, which forced our Mother God to withdraw. Our right brain hemisphere and the portal of our heart chakra is the open door through which our Mother God flowed into the physical plane. So when we closed our heart and our Mother God had to withdraw, that was actually what caused the fall from grace, not something that happened after our fall from grace. So that's what caused our fall from grace. So now we're in the process of reopening that, and our Mother God is now returning in her full divine splendor. And this event that's taking place on November 8th with the full moon lunar eclipse that I have written about is a major return of the highest aspect of our Mother God's divine love that we've ever been able to withstand.
Wow, thank you. Mary Groom, would you like to ask your question?
Sure. I have been watching and listening to you and your vlogs for many years, and I just love them. But I have a hard time believing in my worthiness as a light worker. As a result, I don't stand in my own power. In fact, it seems like I'm kind of afraid of it. I don't know if it's an old program or if somebody's trying to keep me that way, but can you help? How do we emerge from the cocoon of self-doubt? I mean, I try to tell myself I'm worthy, but it just does not, mentally, it just does not work. So can you help me with that?
This is another trick of our fragmented and fear-based human ego, because as soon as our ego realizes and knows that we have the ability to turn to the truth of who we are, which is our God self, our I am presence, it knows it no longer has the ability to manipulate us. So it uses whatever etheric records and memories from our time frames and dimensions that have created fear and doubt. And we just were mentioning this before the seminar or the session started today, that the reason someone said something about me speaking my truth, courageously speaking my truth. And I said, I've been doing this for decades, and I'm at the point now where I fully know I'm not going to be fed to the lions and burned at the stake for speaking my truth. But a lot of us have etheric records of really not being trusted, or having people shun us or abandon us because they disagreed with us. We can see that taking place in the political systems around the world, even now, even with families and people just disagreeing with each other, not in agreeing to disagree, but in these violent, caustic, toxic ways that they're hating each other because of another person's belief system. And we've all been through that. So what you need to realize is that that part of your consciousness is not who you are. That is an illusion. You are your I am presence. And the best way for you to begin emulating that is just by knowing I am my I am presence. And when you affirm that, when you have that part of you come up, that fear-based part that makes you feel like you're unworthy, you just say, no, you have no power. Blaze the violet flame through it. The violet flame, as we talked about in the master class, is the most powerful frequency of our Father, Mother, God's light to transmute negativity and discord back into light. Blaze the violet flame through that and say, I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. And that's the reality. Your I am presence is one with your Father, Mother, God. And all the total spectrum of divine possibility in that all-encompassing divine matrix that is our Father, Mother, God is also pulsating within the divinity of our I am presence within us. So just know it's a lie, know it's a trick. It's just your lower fragmented consciousness trying to prevent you from moving forward in the light. And that's even in when we talk about the separation and the duality and all of that, that's all that is just creating so much fear of each other and so much negativity that we can't come together as this one powerful force. If we could do that on a global scale, consciously, deliberately, we would truly transform this planet in the twinkling of an eye. And we're in the process of doing it. We're just doing it step by step as people awaken.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mary. We have in the chat from Lynn. She says, hi from Montana. Can you speak about the 12 solar aspects of deity and how we can engage with this?
Yes, the 12 solar aspects of deity are the multidimensional, multifaceted frequencies of light involving the sacred geometry of our particular solar system. Actually, just so that we can focus on our solar system, it consists of our central sun, and the solar logos of our central sun are Alpha and Omega. And they have breathed forth 12 physical suns, and those 12 physical suns, Earth is the fourth sun out, and the solar logos of our physical sun is known as Helios and Vesta. And each of those 12 suns have breathed forth 12 planets. Now, I know that that isn't what it looks like, but that's because we're not vibrating at the frequency of light. We're vibrating at the distorted mutation that we fell to. But that is the reality of our solar system. So this is the power of the 12 times 12. This is where the mystical number, sacred geometry of 144 comes from. We have 144 planets in our solar system. And so those 12 solar aspects of deity are actually pulsating through all of the crystalline light. And as we move into fifth dimensional crystalline solar light, we are reaching higher and higher frequencies of that particular light in those 12 solar aspects of deity. And we are moving into our 12-fold solar spine. On the we just finished the World Congress on Illumination, the 36th Annual World Congress on Illumination. The 5 videos, the morning virtual online videos that we had an hour video each morning. And those online videos are just on the Patricia Cota-Robles YouTube channel. And the first one for day 1 has a beautiful video of anchoring through the new breath, the 12 solar aspects of deity. And there's not a more effective way that I can have you learn how to use that and experience that light. So this is day 1 of the 36th Annual World Congress on Illumination that's on our YouTube channel. And it describes all 12 of our solar chakras, all 12 solar aspects of deity radiate through all 12 of those chakras, and it describes how that happens and how we can utilize it. And that'll be the best answer for you.
Thank you for that. Yes, so there's so many amazing videos out there from that conference. I got to look at a couple. Premananda, you have your hand raised. Would you like to ask a question?
Yes, you can use also the camera. There is no problem with
Want to bring him on video? Thanks. There you
Okay. Okay,
There
thank
you
you.
are.
Hello, dear Patricia. I'm very glad having this opportunity to talk to you because I follow you since you started your blogs, and you helped me a lot in my evolution, my ascending process. So if when I am doing your breathing on exhalation, I focus the energy and the light to the humanity, to the entire Earth planet. But when I am on retention after that, if I am thinking to the entire creation, is it a mistake?
If you're thinking of the entire creation, what was the last part of your question?
Is it a mistake
Oh,
to
not. Absolutely not. So what you're saying is you're breathing it out to all humanity on earth and then projecting it out to all creation. That's perfect. That's actually what happens anyway, but sometimes that overwhelms people's consciousness. So we just are, and there's so much need on earth right now. But actually, every thought, word, action, or feeling we express affects the whole of creation. Every particle and wave of life in the all-encompassing divine matrix of our Father, Mother, God's body.
This is marvelous. I want to tell you that I see now the entire company of heaven surrounding us. And I have also a dear master who is accompanying me and is telling me all kinds of things. And he said something about you. Do you mind if I tell you what his message is for you?
No, that's all right. I have real thick skin.
This dear master is Master Sai Baba, and he's telling me about you that you should rest a little more.
That I should do more of my work, you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
No, well, I'm talking about resting. You need a little to rest because you are doing very, very much in the spiritual plane.
Oh, thank you very much. I know that, but my body's resting when I'm in the spiritual plane usually. So I sleep very well at night, and I sleep about 9 hours so that I know that my body's recuperating from all that I'm doing in the inner realm. And we all are. That isn't unusual, you know. And I just want to make this comment that in the beginning you said you've been following me, and I really want you to know we've all been walking together. Nobody follows me. So you can say you've been walking with me in this path, because we're past that place of gurus and following in that light where we need somebody to lead us. We're here to be led by the divinity within us.
Thank you very much for everything you do. And may I say you, God bless you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're very welcome, and God bless you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mary types in the chat, I have a hard time believing in my worthiness as a light worker. As a result, I do not stand in my power. In fact, it seems like I'm afraid of standing in my power. How do I emerge from this cocoon of self-doubt? Where does this feeling of unworthiness come from?
Okay, I think we pretty much discussed that in one of the other questions, but what I want to mention to you, and it's important for us to know, we are powerful, and the light is and energy, our life force is blazing through us, no matter what our consciousness is. So if our consciousness is unworthiness, then we are powerfully blazing the attitude of unworthiness to the world. If our consciousness is failure, then we are empowering the failure consciousness for every single person that's struggling on the planet. And I'm not setting this up as a guilt trip, but it's the reality. So if we will just be conscious of that fact and say, is what I am thinking and feeling now what I want to blaze into the lives of every person on this planet or not? And if it's not, blaze the violet flame through whatever that thought was, even about yourself, and even, I should say, especially about yourself, and say, what do I want to empower instead of that? And so you empower the light of your I am presence and the divinity that is the truth of who you are within your heart flame.
Thank you so much. Gary, would you like to ask your question and let us know if you want to be on video? All right, let's for now move on to Alan. Would you like to ask your question?
Hello?
Gary, can you just wait a second while we're bringing on somebody else, and then I'll have you talk.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Thanks.
Well, it's wonderful to see everybody, but if we can't get them on there, I think it's more important to answer people's questions than to see the image.
You're absolutely. I agree. So for now, since we seem to have lost Alan, let's go. Gary, are you ready with your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll try it again.
Gary,
Sorry.
I heard the part up to the tornado with the black and white stripes.
Yeah, or it either be red with white stripes. And sometimes when it gets to the bottom, it's like it's nighttime because I can see like the shadows of trees and you can see images of trees. Now then sometimes it comes down and it's just black, but either red or purple colors will come in and push the black away. And if it's red, I don't understand. I see like cartoon people or animals, and I'm just having a hard time understanding this one. Could you figure it out?
I'll tell you what, our meditations are very, very specific for whatever it is that we're going through. And sometimes there's just interference, like energy that seems confusing because it's distracting us. So
Yeah.
always put yourself in a force field of light. And if this keeps happening, ask your I am presence to reveal to you what this means for you. Maybe there's something involved in that is in your etheric records from other time frames and dimensions that just this image will help you clear it by you making peace with it. So no one outside of your I am presence can reveal to you the true meaning of the things that you're experiencing in your meditations. Because if I tried to tell you that, I would just be giving you my perspective from
Yeah.
my own level of consciousness, which is entirely different than your experience,
Yeah.
your level of consciousness. So
Yeah.
ask your I am presence for guidance and keep a force field of light around you and ask that only from the highest realms of illumined truth come through you. I will say that one thing is that the earth is surrounded by this sea of heavy energy from the wars and the hate and all of the negativity that we've released. And when people go through their near-death experience, they consistently talk about passing through this dark tunnel. And that's what they're doing. They're passing through this psychic astral realm into the light. And then when they're in the light, they have these beautiful experiences with their loved ones and the beings of light in the heavenly realms.
Yeah.
So it may be something to do with just this chaos that's going around, but only your I am presence can tell you for sure what that is for you.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for the help that you give everyone.
Well, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming in, Gary. Alan, are you there? Can you unmute yourself? Are you capable of talking with us? I think we've lost Alan. Okay.
Hello.
Well, there you are. Welcome.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How can we help you?
Okay, what I wanted to ask is when the evolution process is complete and we have transformed from carbon-based frequencies to crystalline frequencies, will our human form be of the same substance and appearance?
It depends. We've all had all kinds of lifetimes, myriad lifetimes in different earthly bodies. So we'll choose what it is we want to be, but we will definitely be able to have a form that is familiar to our bodies if that's what we choose. For instance, when our loved ones, people go through the near-death experience and meet their loved ones all on the other side, they consistently report that no matter what the condition of the physical body was of their loved ones, when they left this physical plane, that in that dimension, they're always in their prime, they're vibrant, they're healthy, and they're radiating light beings. And so that dimension that we used to think of, it's, the shift of the ages when we moved into the higher frequencies took place on December 21st and 22nd in 2012. And at that time, the shift of the ages was our Father, Mother God inbreathing the whole of creation up to the next level of evolution. So before that time, when we went through our near-death experience and saw our loved ones, they were vibrating in the fifth dimension. And in that dimension, that's the kind of light bodies we're going to have, those crystalline solar light bodies. And that heavenly realm that we thought of before 2012 has now ascended into the 6th dimension. So our loved ones that leave this physical plane are vibrating even at a higher frequency of crystalline solar light. But they're still going to be, we're going to be able to recognize them because they'll be able to manifest before us in a familiar form that we know about. So the answer to your question is yes, but with a whole lot more freedom and ability. Sometimes we just choose to be a radiant sun of light, like our Father, Mother, God are, just radiating. They're not beings sitting on a throne with a long white beard and our Father God. They are the all-encompassing essence of light, and we are living within that body, within that force field. So we will definitely have crystalline bodies, and even if we are not, we choose a different vehicle than we had in this particular lifetime, when we connect with our loved ones, we'll be able to identify with them so that they will know, because many of them we've had several lifetimes with anyway, so they will know us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We had a question in the chat from Raina. What is the best way to use your course? Should I meditate on a different invocation every day? How should we be meditating on November 8th?
Okay, there's no such thing as right and wrong. And the reality is everybody has been preparing for lifetimes to be in the physical plane at this time, to weave our unique golden thread of light into this tapestry. That's why even at the World Congress, we had those gathered there and we were doing activities of light together, but everybody was also bringing their light into it. But those people that were tuning in virtually, we did some discussion and some activities of light with everybody, but the direction from the Company of Heaven specifically for them was that you are in the right and perfect place, serving as an acupuncture needle on your part of the planet, wherever you are, and only your I Am presence can guide you to exactly how to use your light and your life force to fulfill this facet of the divine plan. So this is a matter of trusting yourself. And there are lots of activities of light. You can participate and join other groups and do other things and do the videos that we have been talking about, and the World Congress meditations and all of those kind of things. But most importantly, listen to your heart. And if you don't feel competent to take full advantage of the magnitude of this opportunity, ask your I Am presence to guide you to the right and perfect place, and you'll know exactly how to join your energy with other people.
Thank you. I love that image of everybody is a different acupuncture point from Mother Gaia. I love that.
Yeah, we're so powerful, and we've so minimized ourselves, or I should say our fragmented fallen consciousness of the ego has so minimized us just so it can maintain control. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's gorgeous. Everybody's got their special point. Sahit, would you like to ask your question?
Yes. Hi, Patricia. I'm from Lima, Peru. I'm very new to your work. I was really attracted when you talked about the Mayas, because I come from the land of the Incas, and there is a kind of prophecy very similar to what you talked about. And my question is, when you talk about these changes in frequencies, have you noticed that there is some kind of signs in the body, in the physical body, when you change frequency? And the reason I ask is because 2 years ago, I had this kind of awakening after having extreme physical and emotional pain. And I experienced like 1.5 years of pure bliss, and my body transformed completely. Like I lost a lot of weight and it was effortless. I was in bliss effortlessly. But now I return to my old self, and I slowly transition into kind of my perspective is, I understand everything you're saying. Like I understand more, and I feel I can connect. Like instantaneously, but my body is reacting. I feel like it's like that my body feels fear, but I actually don't feel fear, if you know what I mean. My body feels like the physical sensation of fear, and I kind of feel like my body's detoxing, kind of like shaking and releasing, like if something is in my muscles trying to get out from the past. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does make sense. And this is actually happening to everyone in different degrees. Since the shift that took place in 2012, our I am presence has been raising the frequency of our cellular structures, the maximum that we can withstand in every 24-hour period. And people are going through all different kinds of what they're calling ascension symptoms in their physical bodies. I always encourage everybody to have things medically checked out. Don't just take it for granted that it's an ascension symptom if they're feeling problems in their physical body. But once they find out that there's nothing going on that can be identified medically, then to just know that this is your the way your body is accelerating this and moving this forward. And the bliss of what you experienced was your conscious, your I am presence demonstrating to you how easy it's going to be when we complete this shift. And now you've moved to a different point and beginning to take the next step. It's a little more stressful on your body, but it's going to be okay. You know, the more we do, just like you said, the more we focus on raising our vibrations, and there are myriad ways we do this. We do this by eating more rarefied diets, by consuming things that aren't toxic if we can, you know, if we're in the space where we have the ability to have organic things and things that are not toxic to our body, to drink as pure water as we can, to breathe as often as we can, to be in nature, to listen to beautiful music, to do yoga and exercises that help us align with higher vibrations. Anything we do will lessen those stressful symptoms in our body because it'll help raise our vibrations. So just trust your I am presence is obviously guiding you perfectly, as all of our I am presences do, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. And just pay attention, love and nurture yourself. We have this our bodies, our physical body is reverberates with the earth element, our etheric body, the air element, our mental body, the fire element, and our emotional body, the water element. And they're all enveloped with this higher frequency of the ether element. And we have this deva, this master deva that is known as our body elemental, that guides and directs all of those elements in our bodies. You know, there is a divine intelligence in this body. And the body, our body is a temple of light, but it is really just the car that we drive. It is not who we are. And we've all been everything, you know, this idea of white supremacy or prejudice against cultures, and this is just, it would be laughable if it wasn't so serious, because we all have been everything. When we come into this physical plane, we volunteer to go into various experiences that will teach us and grow and learn. So we've all agreed at this point to go through every culture and religion and race and creed and consciousness probably on the planet. But as this moves forward and as you rise up into higher and higher frequencies, you'll begin to connect with this divine intelligence in your body that's known as your body elemental. And it is the divine intelligence. For instance, when we eat a carrot, our body transforms it into brain cells and heart cells and pancreas cells that have entirely different functions. It isn't that we consciously know what to do. It's because of the intelligence in our body. So communicate with your body elemental and ask your body elemental to assist. And I think it's the last or the next to the last module, either module 7 or module 8, that there is an activity of light of moving us into our crystalline solar light bodies that'll help you through this time and accelerate this challenge, this transformation that you're going through in your bodies.
Thank you so much. It does make a lot of sense. And in meditation, I got this insight that it will pass. But when I went to the doctor said, okay, but you need to be functional. So he said, you have like an anxiety thing, and he prescribed medicine. And I kind of was in the middle, like, should I or shouldn't I? Will this stop my frequency and stuff like that? Can you have some words about that?
Yes, our body elemental knows exactly how to utilize the medicine. And what we need to do is just consciously take it as a force field of light. Say, I am absorbing this medicine as pure light, and my body is only absorbing the highest good that I can receive from this medicine. And I'll say at this point, we can do this with the vaccinations and with any medicine that we are being guided to take, that we can ask our body elemental to absorb only the highest light from this medicine. And that's exactly what will happen.
That's great. Thank you so much. That helps a lot.
You're welcome.
Lovely. Patricia Wagner, a familiar name. Welcome. Do you want to be on video, Patricia?
Yes, please.
Garth, it will take a couple of seconds here.
All right. Hello,
There
Patricia.
you
It's so
are.
good to
Hi,
see you
Patricia.
again. Every time you come to Florida, I try to come and see you, and have several times.
Oh, thank you.
My question is, you answered part of this, I think, when you mentioned about the shift of the ages on December 21st and 22nd, 2012. From Barbara Marx Hubbard's request, I was one of her agents of conscious evolution. And so she requested that all of us have birth 2012 parties. So I held a birth 2012 looking for light party on December 22nd, 2012. And during the party, there was this phenomena of intense bright white light that came through a family room window and stayed intensely there for several hours. And so could you please expand on, was during that period of time similar to what we're experiencing now with the divine light activation and energies that are coming on our planet? Could you expand on that, please?
Yes, we've been through myriad incredible cosmic moments and activities of light over the decades that I've been doing this, and we've been receiving the maximum assistance from the heavenly realms that we can receive. And the wonderful thing that is happening with these cosmic moments is that our I am presence in the company of heaven are giving us outer world confirmation that what we are doing is genuinely assisting, and is not just figments of our imagination, that this stuff is happening. And so there are many, many powerful things of light. And this Tuesday on November 8th is another one of those incredibly powerful opportunities. And it coincides with all of these major shifts that have been taking place. So we had the very first World Congress on Illumination in Honolulu, Hawaii. We were guided to do that because that is actually part of the continent of Lemuria, where the initial impulse of the fall from grace took place. And so this activity of light that we had was this beautiful conference in front of these huge windows overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And as the energies came in for those activities of light, the waves just expanded in ways, totally unrelated to the normal rising of the tide and things. So we were able to tangibly experience this shift that was going on the planet. And it happens all the time. So that was a gift that you're blessed to receive. And I was very aware of Barbara Marx Hubbard's activities of light, and she had a virtual one too that I participated in at that same time. So special lady, and now she's working very hard from the heavenly realms to assist us at this time.
Oh, thank you, Patricia. And I was also wondering, would it be possible for you to do a live guiding meditation or presence on November 8th to just connect us all.
What I'm doing, it's not going to be live, but we have our videos on Tuesday morning. So on Tuesday morning, my video for the activities of light that will take place on November 8th will be going out, and we can all tune together in consciousness at that time.
Thank
And
you so much.
the videos are available on, you can sign up to receive them automatically on my website, or which is eraofpeace.org, or it'll be on my YouTube channel for Patricia Cota-Robles.
Is there a specific time?
The videos go out at 7 a.m. Tucson time, but they actually are going to be going out. They usually post them and things so that people can receive them that are getting an automatic announcement from YouTube on the Monday before. But there isn't, I mean, we work in that eternal moment of now. So those energies, once they are out there, they build in momentum. And no matter when you tune into it, you're getting the full benefit of those activities of light and weaving your energy into that activity of light as well.
Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Well, lovely that you invoked Barbara Marx Harvard. She appeared to me in a dream last night, just said, don't underestimate yourself. So I think that's sort of the beautiful words from her. Kim, would you like to ask your question? And are you okay with being on video?
Yeah, I can be on video, that's fine, but I can get started as we're looking for the video button. Okay, great. Well, it's such an honor to be with you. I've been studying with you and using your materials to train other light workers and healers and coaches and yoga teachers. And the way that you've grounded this violet flame work into the world has just been really lovely and digestible. So thank you. I have read the Godfrey Ray King books and was really initiated into the violet flame that way. And then I find that your Violet Flame, God's Gift to Humanity book is the perfect, concise compilation of being a keeper of the violet flame, which is just something I feel very passionately about. So my question to you is, I know that personally I've been called to help and, be a light worker here, and I have trained, I guess, hundreds of people in violet flame work and in deeper consciousness work. But the thing that often comes up, if I could just be very practical in my question, is this balance between the day job or the job that people don't like doing and the wanting to be a light worker and to be in service and get paid for it. And I was just wondering, if we can take these esoteric teachings and really anchor them into what it is to be in third dimensional reality and to have to pay bills, and but to also want to be a light worker full time in doing this work. There's the unworthiness piece. And then once people work through that, there's just the practical aspect of what it is to do this work and to be able to sustain self. And so while I've been able to do it personally, I haven't been able to transmit the teachings to really help other people. And I wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Well, it just takes a slight adjustment in our awareness that there is no such thing as a mundane job, and that every moment of every day with a take, we have the ability to add to the light of the world. And I was a marriage and family counselor for 20 years. And in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm from, they have, at the time it was Hughes aircraft, now they have Raytheon. And what they do is build the missiles, they build missiles for the government. And lots of people work there, and it's one of the highest paying jobs available and all the benefits and everything. And people would come to me just awakening and being light workers and feeling devastated because they were working at Hughes building these missiles, and they would feel so guilty that they were adding all of this negativity to the world. And I would say to them, well, wait a minute. What if the only people out there making those missiles were war warmongers that intended those missiles to be used to harm other part of life. I said, what about somebody working there that's working with Archangel Michael, putting a force field of protection around every missile so they'll never be used to harm any part of life? I said, don't tell your boss you're doing that, but you have the ability to really add to the light of the world. Working in the banking industry, look at the opportunity we have to create integrity and honesty and prosperity, or in the food industry to bring the abundance of food to all life and healing the elemental kingdom. Any facet of life, collecting garbage is cleaning and purifying, everything that we do. And that's just a slight adjustment, and taking care of our family and creating healthy meals and things is some of the most important things that we do. So it really is just a slight adjustment. And once that happens, for one thing, we don't feel so overwhelmed with guilt that we're not fulfilling our divine plan. So it opens up new doorways, and we say, okay, this is, you are adding to the light here, and then another opportunity. And it just expands to the point where pretty soon you realize, I have all the time and space I need to accomplish whatever I came here to accomplish. And the universe then responds to that and brings it into the outer world.
That's beautiful. And I completely understand. My husband consults to the Department of Defense and he's had to make that shift consciously as well. So I honor that. I see a lot of millennials, the people who are born after the 1987 convergence, who are working for big tech companies, and they come and they're in this deep inner crisis of like, I can't do this. I just want to be working with spirit all day, or I just want to be knee deep in the awakening of the planet. And then there's this frustration in that generation of almost not wanting to have to do all of this silly tech stuff when they really just want to bring people into the heart. So that's a lot of the angst that I'm watching right now in that generation.
Right, and changing that consciousness from this is awful and I don't want to be here, to how can I transform this into bringing in technology that's going to create free energy and feed the world and all of the things, with healthy, non-toxic food, and shift the consciousness. I mean, they're going to be immersed in that in a way that they're going to bring in all new kinds of healing modalities and technology and things. That's what the new earth and the new world is going to be. It's going to be this higher level, so that people aren't struggling from morning till night just to put food on the table or to be able to have a home to live in, but they're rather going to create all kinds of magnificent things that are even beyond our imagination. But they need to be integrated into that platform in order to lift it up initially, and then they'll be creating whole new patterns. One of my favorite quotes from Buckminster Fuller is that in order to change an existing paradigm, you don't try to change the model and make it something else. You create a new model and make the old one obsolete. And that's what we're doing. And that's what these kids are going to do. They're going to bring in new models that all of the stuff that's causing so much harm, like the social media and things, it's a wonderful way, just like we're doing today, a wonderful way to connect with light workers all over the world and add to the light of the world. But it's also because of, just like our fragmented human ego is trying to prevent us from moving forward in the light, because it believes its purpose and reason for being is to gratify the physical senses. And whatever it needs to do, lie, cheat, steal, or kill to accomplish that is its mission. And we can see that manifesting in the outer world all the time through people in the outer world with dark agendas trying to hold on to those old patterns. But that is a minuscule fraction of who we are. Our consciousness, our I am presence, is that heart-based person being that has the divine potential of our Father, Mother, God to transform this planet. And that's who we are and who we're remembering we are and becoming.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, because what you just highlighted is really moving from individual consciousness and me and how do I relate to unity consciousness. And so what the message I just got is really continuing the shift into that unity consciousness and getting beyond the I and into really the more expansive vision rather than the me vision.
Right.
So that's really helpful. Thank you for
Good.
reiterating that.
Thank you.
We're coming near the end of the hour. I did want to read this chat message because I think it reflects what a lot of people are saying, Patricia. Elizabeth says, I would like to just say how much I value Patricia's amazing, authentic communication style. She refuses to allow her ego even the slightest wobble in purity. This is important to me and perhaps to lots of people. She says she's not a leader and that we are all walking the path with her. It is this quality in her that makes me trust her so much. More than anyone I have come across in the spiritual community, I wonder if she would be happy to admit that she is a great role model.
Well, I'll admit it if you admit it, because it's certainly true with all of us. We're all great, powerful beings of light. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I think that brought us to the end of the hour. Are there any closing comments you'd like to make, Patricia, before we go?
Just that this is, as I said, an incredibly powerful moment. And if you have a chance, I encourage you, if you aren't on our newsletter list and haven't received that mailing, to go to our website and read that newsletter, because there's a lot of opportunities and synchronization of things coming together at this moment, and specifically on November 8th. It's going to give us a powerful opportunity to add to the light of the world. God bless you all, and thank you very, very much for all you're doing to add to the light of the world.
Thank you. And by the way, we had as many as 145 people today.
Wonderful.
I think that's
Wonderful. Good group.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.